jealous, apply that pressure. Pick a island, I'm with whatever. Got your foot on their neck, you don't let her. Know you got your own, but I wanna spend it all on you. And I keep you iced out in any weather. Ay, niggas, how you fucked up, I'll show you better. Ay, I know that your heart been broke forever. Till I picked up all the pieces, put it back together. Ay, you giving me that vibe, girl, we could take our time, I'm locked in. I see it in your eyes, let me do that shit you like, I'll give it to you. Girl, I could read your mind, I know what type of time you want, girl. Just put that shit aside, I know you want me to make it right.
As an owner of
Keep them jealous, apply that pressure. Pick a island, I'm with whatever. Got your foot on their neck, you don't let her. Know you got your own, but I wanna spend it all on you. And I keep you iced out in any weather. Ay, niggas, how you fucked up, I'll show you better. Ay, I know that your heart been broke forever. Till I picked up all the pieces, put it back together. Ay, you giving me that vibe, girl, we could take our time, I'm locked in. I see it in your eyes, let me do that shit you like, I'll give it to you. Girl, I could read your mind, I know what type of time you want, girl. Just put that shit aside, I know you want me to make it right.
As an owner of
Keep them jealous, apply that pressure. Pick a island, I'm with whatever. Got your foot on their neck, you don't let her. Know you got your own, but I wanna spend it all on you. And I keep you iced out in any weather. Ay, niggas, how you fucked up, I'll show you better. Ay, I know that your heart been broke forever. Till I picked up all the pieces, put it back together. Ay, you giving me that vibe, girl, we could take our time, I'm locked in. I see it in your eyes, let me do that shit you like, I'll give it to you. Girl, I could read your mind, I know what type of time you want, girl. Just put that shit aside, I know you want me to make it right.
I sit alone in my four-cornered room staring at candles. Are we on the radio, dudes? Well, give it to me. At night I can't sleep, I'm tossing and turning. I still got the candlesticks burning. It ain't changed, but it's a different time. And I'm still playing tricks with my mind. My mother's always stressing that I'm living wrong, but I got my Smith & Wesson cause I'm getting grown. And they're looking at your little boy's success. And I've been thinking, I'm dealing with too much stress. So I stay up on my P's and Q's and watch out for the G's and O's. Cause the homies that I thought I had see me stacking up a grip and they just started talking back. So I stay away from outsiders And when I roll through, it makes them open their mouth wider. I used to think that you was my one and only homie. My mind was playing tricks on me. My mind was playing tricks on me. Yeah. Get up. Dear Diary, I'm having a little problem with my mind state. How many bullets would it take to change my mind? Wait, sometimes I wanna end it, but I don't though. They tell me see my pastor, but I don't go. Cause they all be on this one street. So I take it on myself to think in one deep. And give my money to the most needy, and never put it in the hands of the most greedy. Cause they're putting a price tag on the man's word. And it's a fashion show, so the men flirt. The world is ending, so they try to make us switch fast. And they opening up these churches for some quick cash. And using the money for their new cribs. While Brother Johnson just got kicked out where he lived. I follow no man, cause man beat folk. My mom was playing tricks on me. My mama's playing tricks on me. Yeah. Day by day it's more impossible to cope. I feel like I'm the one that's doing dope. Can't seem to keep my mind on a steady track. I'm all about getting mine, so I study that. But it seems they want to get it. So I try to keep my 9mm with me. Just in case they wanna see your homie's head flown. But I gotta stay around to see my kids grown. I finally found a woman who could deal with me. Back then I had a girl who wasn't real with me. And now she's back with her old lady. And now I got it going on and they sure hate me. Now I'm a gone and she's a loner. Yeah, I'm always playing tricks on her. One time for your motherfucking mind. Bringing it back like this here. 1991 all the way to 1994 when they call me fake. Yeah. Mom was playing tricks on me.
What's good? Welcome to the Wyatt Live 1 p.m. short show today because we're a little bit late. I'm running behind schedule as usual. That's okay. That's all right. We'll get enough in. I got about an hour and a half. Let's get to it. How was your weekend? My weekend was great. It was full of basketball. It was full of telephone calls and assignments, to be honest with you. My daughter is, I speak of my daughter because I love my kids, like everyone else. Let's do a mic check before I get into it. I could be talking to myself here. How are we sounding over there, YouTube? How are we sounding over there, Twitch? How are we sounding over there, Facebook? How are we sounding over there? Sorry about that, guys. Let me pull it up. Twitter. Sorry about that, guys. I couldn't think of it. I wanted to call it something else. My apologies. Let me fix this screen here. Make sure I got what I need. Are we okay? Linda Reed, happy birthday to you. It was your birthday over the weekend. I sent my happy birthdays to you. Everybody give it up for Linda Reed, who's been with us for a while over here at Wyatt Live. I want to say happy birthday to you. I've been banned from playing birthday music because the shit just be too vulgar. But we already know Church Lady Linda Reed, how you get down with the Yin Yang Twins. I'll never let that go. The way you came at me, I gotta let you have it for your birthday. The way you came at me for some of the music that I play, and you tell me that you can't share my show because of the language. And what's crazy, Linda Reed, gotta let you have it for your birthday. I've kind of let this go, but I'm gonna rehash it once again. The same week that you tell me that you can't share the show because your church people, we see you on your video, on your page, at the Yin Yang concerts, dropping it like it's hot. Wow. And I mean, the yin yangs was yinging and they was yanging it. In Louisville, remember that? You and the hubby in Louisville with your little raggedy ass lawn chairs. Gotta let you have it for your birthday. Y'all drag those little raggedy ass green and white lawn chairs, the ones that stick to your ass when it's hot outside. I don't know how y'all did that one. You drug them chairs out there and sat in that dirty ass field, but you didn't sit. You was yinging and you was yanging with the yin yang twins. Whistle when you twerk. Doop 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 doop. Remember that? Come on, sis. She took the video down, Steven Speed, because she went in on me and she served me. She served, and she thought I wasn't gonna return to serve. So I did. I'm roasting her for her birthday because I love her. I love her and her family. They good people. Just having a good time, Linda Reed. Happy birthday. I wish I knew what it felt like to be young, 36, vibrant like you. I wish I knew what that feeling was. I can't remember 36. I'd have to really put my mind to it. I would really have to think, what year was it? What the fuck was going on in the world? For me to remember 36. Yeah. So happy birthday to you, sis, and many more. Many, many more. Stephen Speed said, Wyatt, receipts. Everybody here know. If you skipped that day, Stephen Speed, a couple years ago, if you skipped that summer day on the Wyatt Live show, then you the only one that don't know. But you see, she ain't denying it. You see, everything that I'm saying, it's facts. She drugged them lawn chairs out there, and they whistled and twerked and all that old shit out there. Happy birthday, Linda Reed. Happy birthday. All right. How was everyone's weekend? Some said blessed. Some said it was all right. Linda Reed said it was great because it was her birthday. And mine, I really enjoyed basketball. I had a lot of work to do, but it's great when you can work from home and kind of set your own schedule and your own pace. You can watch television. You can do what you need to do. Take your breaks. And I don't know. It's just cool to be able to work your own schedule the way you want to work your schedule. And I've been fortunate in life to be able to do that for quite some time. Knock on wood. Yeah, somebody asked me who won. Sorry, I got a text message about, do I think Florida is going to win the entire tournament? I predicted it when somebody asked me. I don't remember who asked me here on the show last week. Who did I have in my Final Four and who did I think was going to win? And I said that I thought Florida was going to go to the Final Four. I got Florida beating Houston. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I'm in a situation where, Florida is like my third team because I live in Florida, but yet I'm from Cincinnati. But Cincinnati didn't really give me nothing to cheer for. Xavier made it to the tournament, and I think they were out in the first round. But I remember the days of Bob Huggins and the Kenyon Martins and the Nick Van Exels, the Corey Blunts, and I remember the guys. I remember the days when the Bearcats wore the Chicago Bull type outfits with the Jumpman logo on there. And I remember University of Cincinnati was something to reckon with in college basketball nationwide. We was in the top 10 all the time. Then Huggins did some dumb shit, went out there and got exposed. Everybody in the city knew. If you were in a certain loop, everyone in the city knew that Huggins used to crash out on the weekends and on the weeks. He would go over to his little favorite spots to eat and drink, and he would eat and he would drink, okay? But one little cop put him out there and recorded the shit and put the video camera on him, and then had the microphone all stuck in his face and he was wobbling and all this old shit. And they exposed Huggins for being a drunk in the city. You know what I mean? They exposed him for what he, it had shit to do with how he was bringing them the recruits and, playing for Big East Conference championships and Conference USA Conference championships and stuff. None of that mattered. It all went away when he got caught drinking and driving, and everybody knew that Huggins used to throw him back. bang, bang, night after night. He would be out there. Everybody knew. One of them unspoken things. But that messed up the whole basketball program. They have not been the same since Huggins left. Now, we've had some great players at UC. Kenyon Martin, Nick Van Exel, I don't know, Buford, Logan. We've had some great players. But the problem is, once the coach left, the program collapsed. All right, you can always go get players, but the coach is really where it's at, because the coach in basketball is huge in recruiting and huge in national standings. Huggins got all that love. UC got a lot of love because Huggins being who he was. And I'm just saying, like, you gotta, sometimes you gotta, like Rick Pitino, some of these guys, they got lives outside of basketball. And when they get into these conservative cities and stuff like that, they have to keep this squeaky clean image. And once that squeaky clean image go, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for them. It's going to be tough. And then the collapse of the program. The program is next. UC hasn't been worth, I hate to say this because I'm a UC fan, okay? UC basketball hasn't been worth watching in a decade. Probably longer than that. What would you say, Fame? I see Fame is in here. And he's a sports guy. My opinion is UC hasn't been worth watching in 10 or 15 years. 10, 15 seasons. They haven't been worth watching for me. So I kind of focused my little stuff. I had to find different teams. Thank God my daughter went to Ohio State. Thank goodness my other daughter went to Belmont. These are programs that I would go to the games, follow the teams, get an opportunity to cheer for some new blood. But I mean, I haven't really been a UC basketball fan. I'm a UC football fan. The football program has been able to do much better than it's done in the past. So, excuse me, I am a UC football fan. But their coaching situation, what I see Cincinnati, what I see University of Cincinnati in all sports, I don't know much about their baseball program. I am a subscriber to their page. However, what I'm learning in football and basketball at the University of Cincinnati is they're stepping stone jobs. They're big programs, but they're not large programs. They're big programs for a coach that's in the coaching, neighborhood of wanting to be in a big program. UC is a big program, but it's not a huge program. And if you ever notice, most coaches from football and basketball, if they have a little bit of success, they go on to much bigger programs. It's not a job that you generally take, fail, and find yourself working at, some JUCO college or something. It's worked out for most of the coaches in the University of Cincinnati. I don't remember the guy who went over to Wisconsin, the football coach, he left Cincinnati, Finkel. Those guys have used the University of Cincinnati, win, and then go off to be great. Or I won't say they being great. They go to a huge program. And I'm talking one of those $3 million, $4 million salary jobs. Big East teams, just big programs, multi-million-dollar contracts in those big programs. UC, I beg you. University of Cincinnati, I beg you. Go get a name coach for basketball. Go get a name coach for basketball, because Cincinnati is a basketball city without a pro basketball team, and the next best thing would only be a college team. UC was the hottest thing. Listen, there was nothing liver back in the day than to go up to Clifton on a UC basketball night, sitting in BW3s and any other sports bar that'll let your ass in. I swear, back in the day, y'all remember that little raggedy ass BW3s we had? I thought BW3s was something homegrown in the city of Cincinnati. I just thought it was somebody who just put some shit together and said it's a sports bar. I didn't know it was a national thing. I don't think it was a national thing back then. But I know that little bitty ass thing was a hole in the wall, and it probably had 10 tables in it, all up against the wall. And then it had a little bar type saying you could hit somebody with a dime, with a quarter, from the front of the store or from the front of the restaurant to the back of the restaurant. It was just, you was in arm reach of everybody. It was just that small. And they had, I'm about to show my age right here, y'all. Some of y'all will remember this. They had 10-cent wings. Remember Tuesday? Tuesdays was 10-cent wings at B-Dubs. And I don't know where B-Dubs, I'm probably about to get in trouble for this. They'll never endorse the show, but they're just not the same as well. I don't know what's going on with B-Dubs and they wings, and they, the sauce is still good, but the wings are never what they used to be. They're just not as good as they used to be. They're either overcooked, they're either small, overcooked, or just a bone itself. I like bone-in chicken wings, okay? And I hate a bone-in. I hate a chicken wing where it's so done, so crispy and done, and you bite it and you feel like you're biting into the bone, and it just collapses. And the only thing that's holding it together is the sauce. It's the worst thing in the world. It's the worst thing in the world. Now, here in Florida, we do have BW3s as well. It's no better anywhere. Now, I'm eating B-Dubs all over the country, and they're all falling off. It's all the same. I don't know why I expect anything different. Some restaurants you can go from different cities, it's the same name. Some Wendy's tastes better than Wendy's. It depends on where you go. I don't know why it's like that. I have no idea. Quick note about that. Fast food. When I lived in Europe, McDonald's was there. Burger King was there. It still is. Domino's Pizza was there. What I couldn't eat McDonald's. Okay, I like milkshakes. I like French fries, and I love ketchup. Okay, I put ketchup on almost everything. All right, so the one thing I found out when I was younger, when I was in Germany, is that the food is different because they use the farms. The ketchup, all the dairy, the milk comes from Europe. It's not the same dairy that we use in the United States of America. So it was very difficult for my body to adjust. The milkshakes didn't taste the same. The ketchup didn't taste the same. And man, I just pretended for some time that, like, I'm going to go get me a Big Mac. I'm going to go get me some McDonald's. I just thought it was going to be the same. But the ketchup on the hamburgers was just not the same. I couldn't do it. I couldn't even describe what that ketchup taste was. It just doesn't taste the same. Some of you guys who've been to Germany, who've been somewhere in Europe, you know what I'm talking about. I didn't know that McDonald's, part of their trade, the situation they have is they'll let them come over there and function their businesses, but they have to use the dairies and the farmers of those countries over there to produce the things. They're not shipping ketchup from the United States over to Europe. That's not how it works. So they probably do everything like that, meaning the paper goods, the prints of the cups and everything were probably all made there. I just was young. I never really got into the depths of it. I just know the food was a little bit different. It was definitely different. And McDonald's in Europe, I don't know what it is, and I'm glad it's like that over there and not in the United States, but you can actually buy a beer at the McDonald's in Europe. And if I'm not mistaken, if I'm remembering this correctly, I think kids can drink at the age of 16. And it's just a fast pace, depending on where you live, but it's just a fast pace. Like, kids over there grow up really fast. They get adult responsibilities really fast. Kind of scary, but they do. They get adult responsibilities really quick. Although they live under their family name, they don't do a lot of things because of their family name. They understand that if they go out here and act a fool, that their family name follows them. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that's a good trait to have. Somebody is like, man, I'm not doing that. If I do that, my dad is going to be destroyed at work, on his job or whatever. They do have their names to defend. That all being said, man, my weekend was good. I watched basketball. I'm a little disappointed and I'm hyped at the same time. In the female thing of basketball, I love Don Staley, South Carolina coach. But boy, I tell you what, she was sitting on the sideline they lost to UConn. And I swear on everything I love, it looked like Don Staley was about to come out. She was about to lace her tennis shoes up and get out on the court. I had never seen her that uncomposed in my life. Don looked like she was ready to play the quarter 3 and quarter 4. And she was probably one of the best point guards that I've ever seen in female sports. Dawn Staley was probably the best. I'm putting it out here, and I'll challenge anybody that want to debate it. It ain't gonna be today, but you might want to get your battle sheets ready. Dawn Staley, to me, is the best point guard to ever play women's basketball. Ever. And I'll put her up against anybody. Now, she's not the best player to ever play female basketball. Y'all might hate me for this. Some might not agree with this. The best player to ever play female basketball, to ever lace them up on a female court, Cheryl Miller. There's not a female, there's not a lady, there's not a better female basketball player on this planet than Cheryl Miller. That is Reggie Miller's sister. Y'all sleeping on her. Y'all slept on her when she was playing because ladies basketball wasn't that popular. But there's not a better all-around player on both sides of the court, from playing defense, from taking charges, blocking shots, to going out one night and scoring 45 or 50 on your ass. Cheryl Miller never got her due. If she was playing in today's WNBA, y'all would know what I'm talking about. She is the best female player to ever play ladies basketball, women's basketball. She's so good, she probably could be the 13th seat on a men's basketball team. She had the height, she had the weight. I don't know if she was strong enough in today's NBA, but probably 10 years ago, when the NBA was just starting to turn what it is today, where they don't play defense, they kind of soft. They don't really, they playing for the check. They don't want to hurt themselves. All that old shit. She's the best. That's all I can say about that. My girl, Dawn Staley, lost over the weekend. South Carolina took a loss to UConn. UConn is really good, though. Okay? They didn't lose to some bombs. They didn't lose to an unworthy team. They got beat by a better team that hit every shot. All right? I don't care who you are. I don't care, what caliber players you have. It is almost impossible to beat your opponent when your opponent is hitting their shots. You could be the highest dunker. You could do shit behind your legs and through your back, dunk backwards, dunk from the free throw line. But if the other team is hitting their jumpers, you're going to lose because you're not hitting all your shots. But they're on fire. And they never got put out of fire. They came out in the third quarter after halftime, and they were still dropping. They were still dropping every shot. They just could not miss. And here's the thing. I'm happy for the UConn program because it's not like they shit talkers or, like you don't have a real reason to be mad at them young ladies. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're like a cheater program or something. No, they straight up. And they just beat a better. I don't think that they're a better team. They were that night, but they just happened to beat Dawn Staley's team. Now, for the record, Dawn Staley had a star player that was injured. You see what I'm saying? Who didn't play. The little girl looked like Scottie Pippen. I swear, boy, I don't need no paternity tests. None of that shit. That little girl looked like Scottie Pippen in the face, the hairspray. And when Scottie came out here as old as his ass is, came out here with them little baby dreads and them little plaits and shit that he put in his head, it definitely confirmed that's his daughter. I don't even know that young lady. But I do know Dre, okay? I know her. She is an Ohio resident. She's from Dayton, Ohio. And I couldn't do nothing but cheer for her. But, it's tough for her because she had to take on all them UConn big bodies by herself because little Scottie Pippen was hurt. She got an injury. So they didn't have a ball. They didn't have their penetrator. That's the little Scottie Pippen. They didn't have her. They didn't have a lot of the things that she brings to the table. She would have definitely helped. I don't know if she would have stopped a 20-point blowout. I don't know if she would have done that. But she would have made a huge difference. she would have made UConn play a little bit better defense or a different defensive style. You understand? So that all being said, shout out to my girl Dawn Staley. She'll be back. Well, she has three titles. Coach of UConn, I think that's like his number 12, his 12th, maybe number 13. I don't know. It's 12 or 13, bro. Those are not by accident. Those are not by accident. And if you don't agree with what I'm saying about the best female basketball player ever to do it, and you want to debate me, send me a note in the DM. You know that DM y'all be sending me all that other bullshit. Send it to my DM and tell me why you think that Cheryl Miller is not the best player to ever do it in women's basketball. And if you want to come on the air, we can have a conversation. You got a lot of look, I would say maybe 5 women that you could put up against Cheryl Miller's, my argument on Cheryl Miller. Probably 5, maybe 6. Okay. And it could be a good debate. All right, it really could. But I got Cheryl Miller being the best to ever do it. All right. And don't bring me some little girl that just got in the NBA. If you are WNBA, if you bring up what's her name, the little girl from Indiana that just got there who ain't really done nothing yet. She had a great college career. That's one thing. Okay. Don't bring Angel Reese to this argument. Come on now. They have to be proven, they have to be consistent. All right. All right, last one on basketball, I promise. I got Florida winning it. National champions will be my, Florida Gators. I don't really rep Florida Gators. It's just my second home, so I try to, big up my teams that are in my home state and things of that nature. But here's my problem. When you ask me at the beginning of the season of college basketball, when you ask me, those that know that I like basketball, Houston was my pick to win it all this year. Why did my pick change? Only because if they was playing University of Cincinnati, you would pick University of Cincinnati from the heart. That's the only reason why I'm picking Florida. It's not that they're not good enough to win. I just think that Florida is going to win because of my heart. Houston is loaded. Them little brothers, I've been watching Houston for a few years now, and they always right there on the edge of being where they are right now. It's Houston's time to win one. It's just their time to win one, but my heart is with Florida. All right? I'm just going to be honest with you. Just like if it was the University of Cincinnati playing Houston or Florida tonight, I would be a UC fan tonight. If it was Kenyon Martin and them guys, I would take UC, even though deep inside, I would think that probably Houston would probably beat UC. Maybe not the Kenyon Martin UC, but any other UC team. I don't see UC. I just can't see any other era than Corey Blunt. Those guys, I could see those guys beating any team today. All right, in a Final Four or a national championship. But I can't see any other team. I can't remember a UC team that could compete in a national championship game and even stand a chance. Maybe when Logan and them was playing, but Logan was too small to carry that team by himself. All right, that's when UC found a little bit of life after being crushed for a little while, for a few years. They found a little bit of life, and then it went right back to the dumpster. Sorry, my Bearcat people, I'm sorry. I got to keep it 100 about that. UC basketball program is trash. And let me tell you where it began. When you went and hired a coach from NKU. That showed me right there, they had no inspiration. They were not trying to win. They were just trying to put some shit in there to try to make the program, hey, we need a coach. Go get one. I don't see them trying to get somebody. Now, I'll be honest with you. I think Xavier, this is it for the sports. Then I'm going on. I'd have to say that Xavier actually went out and got a coach so they can win. They went out and got Rick Pitino's son. I think his name is Richard Pitino, something like that. I don't know. It's Pitino. They went out and got a coach that they know is going to come into the University of Xavier and win some games in battle. They did go get a winner. He's not the best coach, but his resources. You got to keep in mind, daddy right on his shoulder. Rick Pitino is right there. Rick Pitino might not be on his team, but he ain't going to watch his son fail. He'll help his son out any way he can. from recruiting to anything else. You can only have so many recruits each year. Hell, to be honest with you, I'd love to see some of that Cincinnati talent go to the University of Cincinnati. But if I had a son that was talented enough to play D1 basketball and he was highly recruited, if he was a blue chip player, there's no way in hell I would let him go, or I would sign. He wouldn't sign up to the University of Cincinnati, not the way this program is structured right now. There's no way. I'm sorry, guys. Y'all know I got love for my Bearcats. It's not structured to win right now. They're just not structured to win. And that's the school's fault. Dominique, what's good, sis? Just mentioned you yesterday. She said, Wyatt, how do you feel about Cincinnati might lose the Bengals? Well, let's do a show on that. Just not today. Dominique, I want to answer that, but my answer would be way too long for what I got to do today. You understand what I'm saying? Like, sis, I really want to answer that. I've made some comments on the Cincinnati Bengals page and some of the pages that I see on social media that's making those type of, those posing those questions. I'll say this to you. If they leave, see, I don't know enough about the contract. All right. I know a lot of people think they know all this shit about the contract and they think we got the rawest deal in the world. I don't think any city that has a pro team with only 32 teams in the NFL, I don't think there's a city, maybe outside of Green Bay, where Green Bay Packers play. I don't think there's a city with a great deal, a great structured deal with an NFL team. I don't think it's set up that way. I think they have a monopoly. They have a brand. They have a business that allows them to have the lion's portion of the money. That's just my opinion. I think that the counties look at what they're paying versus what they're doing for the city, for the citizens of the city. Yeah, I know property tax. There's a whole lot of shit we pay property tax on that a lot of people don't really agree with. And it's not just the stadium. Hell, we got a school that, if you look at the numbers, if you look at the reading and the academic numbers, would you support sending your tax dollars to a school that's failing? So that's a whole conversation. That's a lot that, I could say a lot about it, but I'd rather do a show about it. Here's what I said, about 6 months ago when we had this discussion, Dominique? And I said, if I was the Bengals, which, like, I've just learned recently that the Bengals can't really leave without giving the city of Cincinnati an opportunity to find a buyer for them or for the city to buy them themselves. Now, I'm going to tell you a little secret. They ain't got shit to worry about. City of Cincinnati would never buy the Bengals. All right? They would never buy the Bengals because they're not that proactive. For me, I would be like, oh, yeah, hell yeah. That's part of the damn, what do they call it? What can we use the railroad money for? What do they call it? What did they say that you can only spend the railroad money on foundation and things that, yeah. We about to build a whole stadium and put a team in it. I'd build a dome stadium and buy the Bengals. I'd spend the whole $1.6 billion. I'd spend it. Give me a check. Here, Katie Blackburn, y'all take the 1.1, y'all take this 900 million, and we're going to invest the rest of it into the infrastructure. I think that's what it was. The infrastructure. And I would invest and make our investment would be an NFL team. They're already here. Sounds stupid to some people probably, but I don't know one NFL team that's not turning a profit, whether they winning or losing. I don't know one that's losing money. Just through the TV contract, the revenue sharing. There's a lot of stuff y'all not hearing about how these teams make their money and this and that. I understand the negotiations. I understand how people use the media and how they using certain things to do their negotiations. I understand it, but I'm not going to get into too much of it because I don't understand all of the stipulations. And, like, for instance, one stipulation was if the Bengals decide to leave after their 2-year, the city can't even contest their 2-year extension. So they're here at least till 2027 or 28, regardless if the deal get done or not. They can exercise their right to stay here for an additional 2 years. And if the Bengals decide to leave, I didn't know that the city, they have to give them an opportunity for the city to buy them or for the city to find a buyer for them or something to that nature. But I just don't think that's a problem that the Bengals really are looking at. I just don't think that the Bengals are looking at it, that being a real big issue. Seriously doubt it. All right. Here's the other thing. I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit on that situation, Dominique. If I'm the Cincinnati Bengals, I don't renew the lease. I go to Lebanon, Ohio, Mason, Ohio, Westchester, Ohio. I buy land. There's tons of land out there. I build my own stadium and I make a deal with another county. That's what I would do. Now, I'm not trying to help or, say anything that, I don't want to see them leave. I'm speaking from a business perspective. And I would go out and set up my own program. And I'm sure one of these starving ass counties wouldn't have a problem with the, I don't know, Bambi ass deal. Bambi, not the Lions portion, but the small little Bambi. Because if you look at it, how many people that live in Hamilton County and Cincinnati who work for the Bengals, I don't see them not being able to go to work if it was in Mason. It's only once a week. If it's 6 games, 8 games out of the year, they're not going to lose their job. They're going to just drive out there that day. But if I was a business owner, I would say, okay, this ain't going to work for me. I would go to Lebanon, Mason, or Westchester, buy land, build a building. I mean, who in Cincinnati not going to go watch the Bengals or not be a Bengal fan because they moved to Mason, Ohio, or because they moved to, Lebanon or Westchester? I think everybody would still keep their Bengal shit. But I'm going to tell you this right now, Mike Brown and Katie and all y'all, if y'all leave Cincinnati and you go somewhere like, damn it, Orlando and become the Orlando Bengals or some shit like that, I'm throwing all my Bengal shit away. I'm not going to be a Bengal fan if you leave Cincinnati. And the surrounding area I'm cool with. But you can bet it, and I'm jocking it. Put this shit on film. Put it on. Lock it in right now. If the Bengals leave Cincinnati or in the surrounding area, I am no longer, I don't care who they got on the team. I am not a Jamar Chase fan anymore if they leave. T. Higgins and all of them. I'm not leaving. I mean, if they leave, I'm not staying with them. I'm not a fan. Sorry. I'll just be a UC and a Buckeye fan. Because if an NFL team leaves Cincinnati, it's never coming back. We live in a multi-billion-dollar industry that this city, the city of Cincinnati, will never see another NFL team. Have they got another NFL or another NBA team? Hell no. Y'all might not know this, but Cincinnati used to have an NBA team. Think about this. Think about how great it would be right now. We could be like Cleveland. That's the only thing I like about Cleveland, because I'm a sports fanatic. I love the fact that Cleveland got sports all year round. Now, they college shit is trash, but that's okay. They got basketball, pro baseball, pro football, all of it. All the three that I love. My man cave, my theater at home in Cincinnati would be amazing if Cincinnati had pro basketball, pro football, pro baseball, pro hockey, pro soccer. My God, I just OD on sports. That's right, David Herring. It used to be the Cincinnati Royals. They are in the NBA still to this day as the Sacramento Kings. Can you imagine if we had the Cincinnati Kings or the Cincinnati Royals in the NBA right now? Do you know, for me, when I'm in Ohio, when I'm in Cincinnati, do you know, for me to go to an NBA game, I go to Indianapolis, which is about an hour and 20 minutes from my home in Cincinnati? But I love the NBA, so I go occasionally. My wife and I will go for the weekend, catch a game on a Friday night. They may have another one on Sunday, and we'll leave after the Sunday game. It's just sometimes it's a great weekend. One weekend we got really lucky a few years ago. They played the Bulls on a Friday night, and then they played the Celtics on a Sunday night, all at home. Great weekend in Indianapolis. I'm going to be honest with you. Between the game tickets and spending money at the hotel and doing all the things that we did in the city that weekend, I probably dropped easily $2,000, which is not a whole lot of money, but everybody ain't spending $2,000 on some rec on the weekend. But think of that. Just dropped $2,000 in another city. Like, you could drop that same 2,000 in the city of Cincinnati. If we had all those sports in the city of Cincinnati, people from Indianapolis or other areas would go to the Cincinnati area and do exactly what my wife and I do. Travel to go see the NBA. They do it for the Bengals. You think everybody sitting in that in the stadium, what did it hold? 60,000, 70,000? You think all those people live on John Street and York and all this? No, them people from all over the place. A lot of those people live in Kentucky. They're Bengal fans because of the surrounding area. And I'm gonna tell you something. If they lose that team because of some shit, I mean, I don't know what y'all thinking, but a lot of people are employed by the Bengals. A lot of people spend money locally, like I'm talking about at bars and restaurants. And I'm not talking about just right there on the banks and all that. They're spending money throughout the state. Half of the whole southern state of Ohio is pretty much Bengal fans. So look at all the sports bars and all that stuff. They got Bengal shit in it all over the city. And I mean, you got to do the numbers. Has to make sense. And some may not agree with this. Dominique, I took this way too far. But if the Bengals leave town, your downtown probably, it's already bad. Tough. When I say bad, meaning it's tough to do business. If the Bengals left, it would probably not be worth some of these restaurants to stay. It probably wouldn't be worth it. Because some of these restaurants are doing 20, 30, 40, maybe even $50,000 in a weekend. And they need that type of money to sustain where they are. You can't have those drought ass Monday through Friday, Monday through Thursday nights with the high ass overhead and the cost of doing business down there. You can't have those nights all four weekends in a row. You can't do that. Those close shop. So you might want to look at your economic boom. And I know that's not part of the negotiations online, people that's using using this shit to negotiate out front. But people that are negotiating against you, they know their leverage. They know the leverage that they have. Now, the people, we get emotional and we all want to hear this and we love who's saying it and passing the messages. But the truth of the matter is, at the end of the day, it's going to be about the economics. It's not going to be about your emotions. It's going to be about what makes sense for the city. All right. Because if you really look at it, yeah, property taxes pay for those stadiums and things of that nature, but look at the people who don't even own property in the city of Cincinnati. You think they give a shit where them tax dollars go? You really think they don't care? If you're not a property owner in the city of Cincinnati or in Hamilton County, in the county, not just Cincinnati, if you're not a property owner in the county, you don't care what's going on with the tax dollars. I mean, maybe I'm wrong there. But from my experience, most people who vote on shit, they always vote for property taxes to be paid when they not really the property owner that has to pay the taxes. They don't care. I mean, I shouldn't say they don't care, but I don't think it affects their life as much as it does an actual property owner. And that's not a shot at anyone. It's just real talk. It's just how it works. Someone said something. I think I read it. They just did a place at the airport. Oh, yeah. Someone said that Hooters filed bankruptcy. Stephen Speed. Yeah. What's up, bro? He said Hooters filed bankruptcy. Yeah, I know. But that's an outfit that's filing bankruptcy nationwide. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. They've been having problems. And Linda Evans said Mike Brown's old ass ain't going nowhere. You right. His old ass will be right here in Cincinnati while Katie Burns and them are in Orlando with the team. I don't think Mike Brown gonna ever live anywhere else. That don't mean the Bengals. You don't know, knock on wood, you don't know how much longer Mike Brown has on this planet. You understand? I don't know if he'll live through the contract. I'm like the 2-year extension. Heaven forbid. I hope he does. I mean, I'm never gonna wish anything on anybody like that. But I'm just saying, he's not the youngest guy in the world. But you don't know what his family plans are. You don't know if they have an allegiance with the city of Cincinnati like his dad did and that Mike Brown does. Katie Blackburn and them love the community, but shit, you could go get $1.5 billion in a move with a new stadium, a new fan base, a whole new start. I don't know. I know a lot of people on here would lie. I know y'all would lie and say, "Oh, I love Cincinnati so much," and I would never. Your ass go down the street for $1 off of a perm. You ain't trying to commit no loyalty to no black-owned businesses and shit like that. If you can get it cheaper, that's where you gonna go. And how dare you sit back and say that you would support you if you was the Bengals owner? I wouldn't go nowhere. I don't care how much money. Shut up. Shut up. It's always the ones that ain't got no dog in the fight that say the most. Get out of here. If they told Katie Blackburn and them $1.5 billion to make the move to invest in your team, we're gonna give you a brand new dome. We're gonna set you up with a brand new, Oklahoma City's been looking for a team for 15 years now, and we want to invest $1.5 billion into the Bengals and bring them here with the Oklahoma Thunder. And shit. For a thirsty city like Oklahoma, listen, I lived in Oklahoma. All they hold since for 30 years. And before I got there, they've been Oklahoma Sooner fans. That's it when it comes to football. If they get a pro team, as much as Oklahoma shit is, like they sell a lot of jackets and Oklahoma this and Oklahoma that. If they get an NFL team in Oklahoma, it'll be there until the NFL either explodes, evaporates, go away. They never going to leave Oklahoma because Oklahoma fans know how to be They know how to be fans. They'll be very loyal. Very loyal. All right, so my pick for the championship game, Florida. I really want Houston to win. I'm on record. My Floridians are going to hate me for this. My neighbor asked me this morning, who I got? Why you ain't got your I ride with a Bengal flag on in Florida. I'm that dude. I'm that dude because I live in a city that don't have NFL. They love Tampa Bay here. They love Miami Dolphins, but I rock Bengal shit on my license plate, and I put my Bengal flag up when I'm riding around St. Pete. And I represent the Bengals everywhere I go. I wear my Bengal shit. That's just me. I got Bengal tennis shoes. I'm just that dude. You know what I'm saying? So, dude asked me this morning. He was doing his thing. He asked me. He said, "Hey, you gonna watch that game, right?" I said, "Yeah, of course. Who you got?" I said, "Well, my heart is with Florida, but I really want Houston to win because Samson. I've been wanting that guy to win a championship. I like those young brothers. They just remind me of the type of ball we used to play. Rugged, tough, fast paced. A motherfucker took a shot he ain't had no business taking. They be arguing with each other and shit. It's like playing at the boys' club. I'm just being honest. You racking up shot after shot, you shooting your team out, and then everybody looking at your ass like you're crazy. Then the coach pull you out, and y'all over there fussing and fighting and arguing. It just reminds me of the days of how we used to be. I ain't gonna lie. I want to see them win, though, because they play hard. They give it all they got. And I just love to see it. I would really love to see Houston win. But in my heart, I want Florida to win so I can brag about Florida. And yeah, okay. Might make a few dollars off being in Florida while Florida basketball win. It's just one of them things. But quick thing. I think I got a phone call. Let me check. Jeez, let me see something. I do. Pardon me. I'm sorry, guys. Let me go to the phone lines before I get into my conversation. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Fame Rothstein.
Hey, Fame. What's going on? Hey, Fame. I apologize, brother. Look, man, my setup a little bit different. I was rushing, and I didn't know that I had a call on the line. I apologize, brother. How you doing today?
I'm pleasant, per usual.
Good.
Couple things percolating. One, as you know, I had moved out. I live on a farm now.
You live in what? Say it again.
I live on a farm now. Moved out into the rural area.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I live on a farm. Got a couple cattle and whatnot. And
okay.
Yeah, I was right.
I hope you ain't bullshitting me. I hope you for real because it sounds kind of dope.
No, I did. I wrote a book about it because just how hard it was to, kind of, find black love on a farm coming from the city and things like that.
Okay.
And whatnot. And I was wondering if you'd like the foreword for my book.
Okay.
Oh, you're willing to do it? Write the forward?
Am I willing to write the forward of your book?
Yeah, thank you.
What's this? No. What's this book about? Say it again.
Being black from the city and moving out to a rural area and trying to keep, black love alive out in the rural area.
I don't know if I can write that one. I don't know. I can give it a shot. I'm willing to try to help.
Yeah, the book is titled Buckshots and Backshots.
Okay, now you're on some bullshit, I can see.
No, I'm not, man.
You on some bullshit. Now I see. All right. Let me fasten my seatbelt.
I did it through Amazon Publishing. I've had to, pay about like $7,000 for it.
Okay.
To have it published. Self-published.
Okay.
But yeah, and plus, yeah, and another thing, I'm noticing all these people in the comments calling you Ran and all this shit.
I haven't read that.
You ran on the show one time 2 years ago, and you got indignant about it.
Hey,
like, man, that ain't my name.
Calm down.
Only people that know me can call me that. Bro, you don't know me like that.
Calm down. Calm down. Let me go back and see, because they will get checked unless it's a family member. Because I didn't see it. All right. I hope you ain't starting no mess, because I haven't seen anybody.
I ain't starting no mess.
I haven't seen a Ran comment. Maybe. I do have
boy
a few
from Westchester called you DJ Ran.
Who did?
Oh boy from Westchester.
Who is that? There's a few people.
Jacket, shirt, coffee mug, that nigga.
Oh, I didn't see it. I'll look it up. You in here? You coming in here snitching and shit, huh? Go ahead, man. You doing your thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, yeah. I forgot what I was going to. Oh. The Bengals leaving Alicia Reese, all that kind of stuff. Look, I'm just gonna be brief with it because you said, as soon as that came up, that's when I had called.
It can be a long conversation. You know what I'm saying, bro? I'd rather do a whole show on that.
A whole show, exactly.
Yeah. But go ahead, give me a little bit. Go ahead, give me a little bit.
I will tell you the same thing I told Emmanuel on Friday. Okay. When the history of Cincinnati and Hamilton County politics is written, Alicia Reese will be known more as a asshole than an advocate.
Okay.
And she's the one that basically she becomes the one that makes the Bengals leave downtown Cincinnati, much less Ohio. Like she'll never be able to buy another drink in the state of Ohio.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
She'll be persona non grata throughout the state of Ohio, definitely Cincinnati.
Right. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I don't know if this is a defense, because I agree. I think that would be a problem if they do leave. I think they'll blame her, and that's just what it'll be. Now, how she'll survive that, I don't know, but I'm just saying. I'd like to say, I don't know how much I can speak on this. I don't know I do know. I don't know why I'm saying it like this. Look, when you use the public to negotiate, it opens the door for public ridicule. Okay, like we can actually say something. You got to be careful when you use the public to do your negotiations. You understand what I'm saying? Because it outs a lot of things that could be brought up. And I'm just not in the position. I don't feel like I want to bring up some things right now because I don't want to muddy the water of how those things work. I gave my opinion, Fame, on what I think the Bengals should do, but it's not favorable to Cincinnati. I think that, can you think of a city, Fame, that has a great stadium deal? I mean, you're only talking 32.
No, they're great for the owners.
Yeah,
because there's a part of every NFL team. They're one of 32. There's only 32 NFL teams. They're in how many 31 cities? Because New York has 2 teams.
Right. Well,
but so they're in 31 American cities, or however many. There's going to be a modicum of capitulation and acquiescence by those city leaders of those towns. Right. If you want one of these,
right? You
know what I'm saying? You want to date 25-year-old Halle Berry? There's going to be some capitulation going on.
I agree. And you got to understand the NFL. Excuse me, I'm sorry. The NFL has done a great job at keeping a brand that valuable, because they could do expansions but they won't do expansion teams. They haven't done an expansion team in 20 years, probably longer than that. Probably longer than that, but it's been about 20, 25 years. See what I'm saying? And that adds the value to what they're doing.
And like you're exactly right. It adds the value. And like I said about her being more asshole than advocate, for 30 years, This woman has been a menace to people. From when she first got in, she threatened that those downtown businesses by calling her firefighter friends. That was reported in the news. The situation involving Angela Leisure, Timothy Thomas's mother, she got involved with that. She had her dad try to work her back channel through that, on her behalf, on behalf of the city. And now she's about ready to lose the Bengals. All this and all she's ever done for us was got a damn Black Cincinnati music festival.
Which I love
so that
that.
we can go downtown and read about the damn deal.
Yeah, but I love that Cincinnati Black Walk of Fame. I love it. I went the first time during the Festival of Lights.
You'd rather go watch that than the Bengals?
No. No, I'm saying you brought up the Walk of Fame, and I'm saying that
that's perfunctory.
It's a really nice project. It's a really nice project. I actually loved it because of my history. I used to there's some things in that Walk of Fame that I appreciate probably more than the average guy. Because being in the music,
it's for a guy like you. Yeah, you used to DJ and whatnot. You used to spin them records.
Like I like High Tech. A lot of people don't know that I remember High Tech when he was Dusty. You feel me? Like when he was just a kid out there trying to make it, and it was beautiful to see him do what he's been able to do, and then City come back and honor him in that way. That's just an amazing accomplishment. So I'm okay with that type of stuff. We probably need more of that type of stuff, to be honest with you. All right. And there's
what do we need more? That type of stuff or a major league NFL team?
Why not have it all?
Okay, then why is she fiddling, trying to bully, talk strong to one of 32?
She's not really doing that. Fame. I gotta play devil's advocate. I gotta be the honest. I gotta give you my point of view from the most honest position that I can, all right, without going in depth, okay? She's taking the approach of negotiating this thing in the public, because what a lot of people don't understand is when you, and I don't know if it's the right strategic thing to do, but it might be the only leverage that they have. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because they know they can't win unless the Bengals give in. The deal is structured all the way for the Bengals to make the decisions. The only leverage that the city or the county has is that if the Bengals decide to leave, that the county has the opportunity to buy them. And we all know that's not going to happen. And I think the Bengals know that too. Okay, so they really don't have a lot of leverage. So the only thing that they really can do, I don't want to spill the beans on this. I'm just an outsider looking in, and it's very transparent to me that the only tactic that they have is to do the negotiations in public. So now you get the taxpayers all riled up and make them understand you're paying for this, you're paying for that. I'd like to see them say the same thing about the Cincinnati taxes, Hamilton County taxes going toward the school. I mean, I'd like to see that same argument and that same energy, because more of the school, higher percentage of your property taxes go towards schools than it do the stadium. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And okay. I can't. It's not about winning or losing as far as the Bengals being a winning organization or losing organization. But what would you rather have? Would you rather have a good school system in your city, or would you rather have the Bengals? If you really wanted to knock it down to take one or the other,
I'd rather have the Bengals. You can always homeschool.
Well, that might be your choice.
The execution you got.
That might be your choice. My choice would be, I need that same argument and that same energy about why are we paying so much money in our property taxes towards a school that your 8th graders and your 12th graders are reading well below proficiency levels. Do you understand what I'm saying, bro? Like, to me, the argument should be just as powerful. But see, you get some people that say, well, you can't argue it all. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I mean, I just don't, I don't know if it's, I don't want to say smart, because it might be the only tactic. I don't know if I would be negotiating publicly. And that's what that is. That's
what I'm saying. It's backfiring for it. However you want to spin it, it ain't looking good.
I'm not trying to spin it.
On her specifically.
I got to give her
not the county, not her specifically. It's all falling on her.
Well, who's face on it right now? You can say the county,
exactly.
But ain't none of the rest of them saying anything. She putting this on her back. And I
it's backfiring. You're not Hercules, hon.
I applaud
You're not Hercules,
her.
hon. Let it go.
I do applaud her I do applaud her for fighting for the people. Okay, because it is a tax person's situation. I get that, but I think that I don't know how you win. I don't know how you win, because if the worst thing happens, it's gonna come down on her. You see what I'm saying, bro? And if the best thing happens, then maybe she'll get all the accolades. She'll get all the credit. But I think a deal's gonna be made anyway. But I just don't think the Bengals are gonna do anything outside of the scope of what they've been doing for 30 years, 35 years. I just don't believe that's gonna happen. And if you ask them to do it, there's so many. How many cities are there in this country? A little under 2,000. And there's only 31 cities that have NFL teams, and there's thirsty cities all across this country that could actually take and use and commit $1.5 billion to something in the NFL, and buy an existing franchise. I mean, I just think that you got to be careful. You got to be careful when you're playing in them waters like that.
Right. I mean, you're talking about a guy who beat the IRS 3 times.
Okay.
In court. Mike Brown. He beat the IRS 3 times in court.
Yeah.
Old school, one of those Ivy League grad, where you really had to be smart to get in the Ivy League. He one of them. This is not the fight Alicia Reese wants. I don't know who she thinks she is. That's why I said you need to just go ahead and acquiesce. You're dealing with big business, fat cats and bigger fish. You're just a fat cat. He's the bigger fish.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I digress. Hey, man, it's always a pleasure. I'm going to get off of here because you said you're getting a show. So I just want to, it's always a pleasure. And we'll chat up again soon. But until then, everybody, be well. Oh!
Thanks for chiming in with us, Fame. I appreciate you. Thanks for holding so long, bro. I think he was on hold longer than he spoke. So I appreciate him holding on. I appreciate anybody that engages with us. It's worth something. You know what I mean? Bringing opinions. And I don't know if I agree totally with Fame. I understand what he's saying. I get it. But I think Alicia Reese is doing, I just think what she's doing is all she can do. I'm just being honest with you. I think trying to negotiate certain things behind the scenes and stuff, the Bengals have too much leverage. So what you do is you have to bring it to the public. I don't see the Bengals really. The only time the Bengals say anything publicly about it is when they're answering a question. They're not generally bringing the negotiations out there unless a local news channel or, some type of reporter asks the question, and then they'll quote them, and it'll look like, the Bengals are interacting, like they're involved in what's going on. But I just don't think that they really spend much time trying to win the public's trust, and I don't think they care. I don't think that's what it is. I'm sorry to tell you that, but I don't think the Bengals' position is. I know they care about their fans. I don't know if they care about their fans when it comes to winning. But these contracts they just signed with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, that and with you got to put you got to put your boy the quarterback. You got to put Joe Burrow in the argument as well. I mean, damn it. That's a huge payroll, but just between those 3. So they're showing some form of commitment to try to win now. They got to spread a little bit of that money over on the defensive side. But I think that Alicia Reese is probably doing all she can when it comes down to this Bengal negotiation thing. I could do a whole show on it, on how I feel, what I think is going to happen, what I think the Bengals should do, what I think the county should do. I could do a whole show on that, and maybe I will. But I think that Alicia Reese is doing the best she can. I don't know if it's going to work because I don't think she's dealing with an organization that's fan friendly, who gives a shit about a county resident. That's just me. I don't think that the Bengals, if they cared, we wouldn't have had bags on our head for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't have kept losing organizations so long. That's just my opinion. Linda Reed said people put. I'm sorry. It was moving. The screen was moving. She said people here losing their homes over property taxes. Who cares about an NFL team? Well, I mean, I get it. I don't know if the Bengals are the reason why your property taxes are so high. like I said, they're not the lion's portion of property tax. Go look at your bill. I think the higher percentage of your taxes go towards your schools. You got a winning school system in Cincinnati? I'm just curious. Is Hamilton County school system, is it a Super Bowl team? I'm just asking. I think it's a legitimate question to ask. You know, I haven't heard anybody talk about the jobs. I haven't heard anyone talking about the tax that they bring in for the Bengals being here. I haven't heard any of that type of talk because, like I said, I could do a whole show on this. But you all, when you using the media or the internet or whatever to make your points and your arguments, then you're definitely going to show a certain narrative. You're going to show only them taking advantage. You're not going to show any benefit whatsoever of the Bengals being in Hamilton County or being in Cincinnati. Why would I? Why would I argue your points for you? I'm just going to make my points, right? It only makes sense, but you got to be careful when you do that because there's people out here that understand the logistics of these deals. And that is, there's ways that the county's making money that you didn't know about. You know, there's other deals that's done. And, you know, and there's some things done at the stadium that I didn't know about, like the Bengals sells ads and the county don't get that money. I think they get a percentage, but those things I don't know about the contract. I'm overhearing, you know, the negotiations in the public. That's where I'm getting my information. I'm not privileged to the real stuff. So I would hold back my full opinion until I have all the facts in front of me. But you can't tell me that the county don't benefit from the Bengals being here. It's not just an expense to the county. I just don't believe that. That's just my opinion there. But that all being said, let me go to the phone line real fast. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
What's up, Wyatt?
Hey, what's up, twin? How you doing, brother?
I'm all right. Can't call it.
What's on your mind today, man? You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Okay. What's
For
up?
right now.
Okay.
Hey, Wyatt,
Yep.
I have a question.
Sure.
Do you have a problem me calling your radio station? I mean, your podcast?
Do I have a problem with it?
Yes.
No.
Okay. I was just making it clear, asking a truthful question.
Oh, I mean, I think that you would know. I think anybody who's been following this, you know, the program for some
I'm
time.
just saying because someone said on everything, and I don't want to jump in my baby chair, nothing like that. But I just wanted to ask you, do you have a problem calling your podcast?
No, I think what happens is people may not appreciate the fact that I allow you to say whatever you want to say. And because I allow you to say on my program, I allow you to say whatever you want to say, that I must condone it. I don't have a problem with people who say what they want to say. And I let
because that's a 513-10 number that you put across your screen to call in, right?
Yeah.
So it's up to the twin or whoever else want to call in and vent with you, right?
I think so. Pretty sure.
So
The phone line is open to everybody else. I mean, it's not just I don't screen my calls.
So regardless if you don't agree with my opinion or what I say, my delivery of logic, what I bring out, you don't have a problem. And I can say whatever I want to a certain degree, right?
Yeah, and there's been times that
you can check me, on anything.
Yeah, there's been times that you said some things I don't agree with. There's things that you said that I do agree with. There's things that I say maybe you could have said that a little better. But who has ever called here and I shut them down from saying whatever they wanted to say? Who's ever done that? The phone line's been the same.
I'm just saying people got a horn or whatever, and twin come on as an on and off. But if you don't like what I say or whatever, you tired of me, hey, go to somebody else until I get off or whatever. That's how I feel. You say Cheryl Miller a good player?
No, I say Cheryl Miller was the best female player.
Oh, okay. What about Swoops?
Cheryl Swoop was good. She's one of the 5 that I told you that you can argue about with Cheryl Miller. You could argue that Cheryl Swoops is maybe one of the best players. She's not the best in my eyes, but I think you can put her in that category as being one of the best. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Bob Hugger, I think he was a good coach with Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And everything.
He did a lot for the program.
Coach, and I like the days watching Kenya Martin and Logan and all them.
Yeah.
I wonder why they never took the job. You think it was ever offered to them or whatever
What job?
as a Cincinnati head coach?
You know what? I'm glad that's a great question, Twin. You know why? Because Nick Van Exel was an assistant coach. I think he still
Right.
is an assistant coach. And I think a
Mm-hmm.
Nick Van Exel would be a great coach for the city of Cincinnati because Nick Van Exel has a huge reputation as being
Right.
a captain and being strong, being a field general. And I think he would be a great coach, but I think he's still, he been coaching probably about 10 years now. When he gonna be ready? Yeah, I mean, if he ain't ready now, he ain't gonna never be ready. Maybe he don't want to go to Cincinnati and coach. I don't know. I don't know the situation.
I thought Corey Blunt was going to do it because he was assistant at Cincinnati State, but he got in that trouble, and they probably looked past that, overlooked it like, nah, he in trouble. Because I sure thought he was coming to Cincinnati, UC or whatever. But yeah, Huggins, I say, was a great coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a ghost town if they leave here. Like you said, White.
The Bengals?
It definitely be it'd be a ghost town. Them bars and all that, it'd be dead, man. It'd be like going down to Indianapolis and stuff at nighttime, how quiet it'd be on a Sunday. So, yeah, if the Bengals leave here, I don't know, man. The only thing you're going to have to bounce on is the Reds, and that's it. And I think...
they got FC Cincinnati now. That's a good thing. That's a great move by Jeff Burden and his group.
But still, people, they diehard fans of Cincinnati, unlike you.
What?
You say you go give it up. Yeah, you say you go give it up if they leave. You say
a lot of people would. I guarantee you, a lot of people. You a Bears fan, right?
I'm a Bears. I like the White Sox, even though they go 0 what's they 166 games, whatever many games. Yeah. I'm from the South Side, but I like the Cubs too.
Right. But now I'm a
diehard Bears fan.
Let me ask you. You're a diehard Bears fan, right? The Chicago Bears. Okay.
If
and
they
I was in
to
the
go
80s.
to Florida, I'll still root for them.
Now why would you do that?
Why? Because I'm a diehard Bears fan. I don't care. That's my team. I don't care if they do go somewhere. I love the Bears, man.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Twin. I ain't never really been much of a fan of somebody that don't love me as much as I love them. I wouldn't be with a woman that leaves me. I ain't gonna be with a team that leave me. I ain't gonna be with nobody that leave me. If you don't love me or like me enough to stay with me, why would I root and cheer for you?
Man.
No, it's not. It's the same thing to me. My loyalty is with you when you with me. I'm not loyal to somebody that's not loyal to me.
Yeah, you got a little point.
That's a huge point because unless you okay tricking, because that's what happens when you start dealing with people that don't love you. You just being with people because they give you the time. And usually what happens is when you give people time, you working on their time. Like when they don't really respect you or love you, like if the loyalty is not there, they only giving you time when it's convenient for them. I don't need nobody like that in my life. I need people whose time is just as valuable. My time is their time and my time is theirs, and our time is valuable together. That's how I am in business. That's how I am in my personal life. I just don't go and give people my loyalty that are not loyal to me.
Okay. Hey, since we paying taxes for schools, like you said, I can agree with. Why these kids ain't educated to a higher standard?
I can't tell you that one, brother.
Because we pay taxes, they see you that form and all that when you fill out your taxes, and I just don't understand. We keep on paying all this taxes, and they focus on higher education when the politics come in and whoever else, and we paying all these taxes. And then since we stay in Hamilton County, why we can't get a discount on them Bengals tickets and everything?
I've always said that. I'll be honest with you, bro. It's not just the Bengals. It's not the Bengals. I think the Cincinnati Zoo, because every time they want some money, they end up putting some type of levy on and they get some money, or we pay a lot of money towards the zoo and all that. I think there should be a Hamilton County Day at the zoo, where if you're a Hamilton County property owner and you pay tax, I think they should have a weekend for us or whatever. If you're a Hamilton County taxpayer and you pay property taxes and that property tax goes towards the zoo, I think there should be a Hamilton County Day at the zoo. And maybe there is. I don't know about it. But I would think that would be fair.
Chicago is like that if you stay in Cook County.
That's right.
You get a free you go to the museum for free, I think.
They just had it in March. They had it in March. They had it in March. I was just there in Chicago. In the month of March, all of the museums were free. You see what I'm saying? And that's a county driven thing. So I feel the same way when it comes down to like the zoo. I think that everybody in Hamilton County should be able to go to a Bengal game or a Cincinnati Red game, anything that the tax dollar fund. And, you know, it's crazy that you pay all these taxes towards something and then you got to go pay to get in it. I just think that, you know, and, you know, everybody don't pay taxes towards some people. Yeah, you do. If you spend money in Hamilton County, you're paying taxes towards the stadium and towards the zoo and everything else.
Yeah, I think it's that Walk of Fame. I think they did a good thing with that. But I think King's record with over there, I think they should have just opened it up, like get people hands on like studio lessons or something. Yeah. You think?
I don't know. I don't know anything about that. You talking about the James Brown
King's
studio
record,
over there?
James Brown, where they use
I think that's a museum. That's more of a museum type of thing. It's more of a legacy spot than it is anything that they're using. I think the building and all that is not up to code to be able to bring people in and do all that.
I thought they upgraded.
I could be wrong. I just, the last time I even thought about what was going on at King's Records, they were talking about trying to get it built up and restructured and things of that nature and turn it into like a museum for the city or something, some type of music museum. That's what I thought.
You think, hey, my last point with this grocery store.
What grocery store?
He talked the country meat.
Oh, in Avondale. I was going to talk about that today. What you got?
They talk about he's not having an EBT card, right?
Okay.
So you think that his sales will go down like that?
Do we know that that's a fact, or are people just talking? Because I was going to ask that.
I mean,
question.
people said it in the chat today, and Lincoln talked about it last week or week before. It's supposed to be running. Now it's not running. And a lot of elderlies have the EBT card or whatever.
So now let me ask you, because I need to know from everybody out here. I'm seriously not up on this. I know it was in the Wyatt Live Messenger group. I know some people posted some things in the Wyatt Live Messenger group. I know that some conversations. I read some of the comments under the postings because there's some people that live in the Avondale area. I've been hearing things about what's going on over there. I don't want to trash anything. I think you're the best person to make this phone call and us have this conversation, Twin, because you were an advocate for that location. You were an advocate for that store.
You're right, because I had a patient and I had a client and they was asking me. I said, I don't know.
Okay.
And I never could give nobody, the answer. And I forgot that he owned the one on at the market downtown, Finley Market.
Okay.
And I didn't know that he was the same owner in Avondale. I would have been, holler at him on the side. But he's going to expose or whatever he got going on. He's going to say, I don't know how soon, maybe next year, this year, he talk about from A to Z, like he said, why it took him so long to open up.
He's going to expose.
Not expose, but, give, people talk about the issue why they didn't open up on time and whatever else.
All right. But
he said he's going to run it from A to Z, and I can't wait to that.
Right. And that probably, you should have probably waited for that before you took your position, if I may say, because you were big on them people doing them wrong.
And because people thought I was crazy and saying, no, man, I want to ask questions too.
But you weren't really posing questions, Twin. You were saying you was going in real hard. Like I said, I need friends like that.
You got an Avondale commissioner or whatever, the board member there, Jones or whatever. And you couldn't even give us a full answer about it.
Maybe she don't know.
About it.
Maybe she didn't know. Maybe.
Come on, man.
No, Twin. What I'm trying to tell you is maybe it was outside of the scope of the board. It might have been some business that had nothing to do with the board. It may not have been a decision based on what the board make decisions on. It could have been an internal thing with the store itself. Maybe they weren't making code. Maybe they weren't doing something as a business that they should be doing in order to be open. And you never considered that. It was all about somebody doing them wrong. And that's what I was trying to bring to the table with you, brother. And that's why I say you're a great call for right now, because when you look at some of the issues that they're having right now, Twin, you got to consider that and maybe why they didn't open. All right. When you say that this store that's in the heart of a Black community and the majority, they live in this store is in a community that a lot of people have EBT cards. and it could affect their bottom line by not utilizing, not having the EBT card. Does that sound like there's two things that's going on here? Either there's an issue that they can't get it, or they don't want to have it. Okay, so we got to figure what is it? You see what I'm saying? For me, I don't want to think that they don't have it because they don't want to. I mean, as a business, you want to be able to accept Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, EBT. You want to be able to, get your money any way people have it in their hand. But at the same time, I mean, your approach to it was somebody's doing them wrong, and you didn't really have it could be on them why they didn't open. You never really had that approach.
It's a lot of stories, though, I hear from how Black folks been treated in Cincinnati, which I stay here. I've been here almost 20 years almost, and listen to different stories on the radio, podcast, and, talking to people in public, like, damn, for real, that's how, yeah, man, they've been getting down this.
So I'm just I
on
mean,
different levels
is
and
it
stuff.
resonating?
And then I say, y'all,
Go ahead.
What you say?
No, I was just saying, doesn't it resonate that the type of issues that you're hearing that's going on right now might have something to do with the store may not have been really ready to open? I mean,
Maybe.
Think about it. I mean, you've seen the issues. I mean, are you hearing the same issues that people are hearing out here about what's going on?
Yeah, man, it's different. It's different, man. They this, and all that. Man, it's up to the commission, all them people and stuff. You can go over there and build some, but why not over here? They quick to build some over in Hyde Park or any other area.
Okay, but see, what we got to do is we got to stop bringing all that other shit into our conversations. And the reason why I say that, Twin, is because we can't worry about what they doing over in Hyde Park. If we're gonna make this work, we gotta be for real, and we gotta know what's happening on our block. We can't worry about what they doing over there.
But as me, if I'm representing that town as an alderman, whatever she is, a board member, a council member of Avondale, I want to know if they come to me like, hey, Twin, I got an issue with this store, and and then I'm like, what's up, man? I will help them. Hold on. You got that store just built over there, and what's the problem? My man can't open his store. I go to the mayor, somebody to address the issue. I don't know if it took place like that or whatever, but as Twin standing as a, councilman, man, or city, whatever, on that board, and they think, hey, I gotta make sure my people right as me.
Yeah,
that's how I feel about the situation. Because I want to know why this building over there is so fast, why this can't open up. You got people, elderly people catching a bus or Uber or whatever, just to go 3 miles to a damn Save-A-Lot or whatever. And when we got it right here, come on, Black folks love pork and greens and all that and everything. I ain't got enough money. I'm on a fixed income. Let me spend this EBT card.
Well, I'm going to be honest and say this. I hear you. I agree to a certain extent, Twin, but it's going to be detrimental to their business if they don't get EBT. I think Brenda Early said something I've seen a comment go by. Let me read her comment and we'll go back to what you're talking about. She said, Country Meat will be eventually accepting EBT cards. They applied, got it, but due to the delays they had to reapply. It just takes time. Well, if you listen to Twin's argument, it's been how long has it been since how long have they?
2-3 years.
Okay, they've been in it. They've been trying to get open for 2-3 years. Probably a year of it's been construction. So the other stuff has been finagling and haggling about doing what. And I told you it could not be what you think it is. It could be internal situations that you.
Well, we go hear from the horse's mouth.
Well, it don't know these. All I can
whatever.
tell you is this, brother, and I'm not trying to. I'm going by what I'm reading in the post, not in the show here, but what I'm seeing out there, and people that are saying, yeah, I work there. I shouldn't say it like that because I haven't read a comment from somebody that's saying that they actually work there. But I've heard people making comments about the normal things that are red flags for me when I see that a business is maybe a little premature. Okay, I'm just putting my CEO hat on here. When you start running into financial situations this early, there's probably a reason why, and it's usually because you're too early. Okay, you're too early in business. You can't open a business without a reserve. In other words, when you're looking at a business scaled like this and doing what they do, the minimum that you should have to operate is 6 months of reserve, where if no one walked into your location, no one walked into your business, you should have at least 6 months of reserve to be able to function every day, your day to day. You see what I'm saying? And if you don't have that, then you might be a little too early. But I see that goes for, like, that's what I wasn't saying anything was wrong with them taking so long to open. I say you open when your facilities are ready to be, when you're structurally ready to open. You can't rush certain things because you may not be prepared for things. And when you're premature, these are the things that can happen. I mean, there's me personally, I wouldn't open without accepting EBT. That's too early for me. I wouldn't open without having a reserve where if I don't get a customer for a whole week or two, or maybe a month or two, I still can function as a business. You see what I'm saying? One of the problems that people have in business is when you open your business thinking that every day is going to be like your opening day or your grand opening. Everybody that has business aspirations thinks that as soon as they open the doors, the people are going to be wrapped around the building. And that's not how it works. It's a grind. It's a struggle. It's very hard to stay in business.
All right, my last point. Hey, did you, I know you might have talked about it, you might not. Hey, did that, that kid that, he's a football player? The black guy killed the twins, one of the twins, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard about that story.
Oh, did you read up on it?
I haven't done much on it. I heard about them fighting over some
type
of...
they said over a seat or something.
Right.
And they were saying he was on demon time anyway. He was mad about something. But basically, they were saying this ain't, no damn Rosa Parks days or something like that. And dude said something reckless to him, the white boy, and dude pulled out a knife and stabbed him to death or whatever. I was saying, did you read up on it?
No, I've heard a little bit about it, man. I read one article, but it wasn't an article of, like, it just said what happened. It didn't say why it happened or what. It didn't do that. I just kind of...
He didn't give up his seat or something. It was under a tent or something like that.
Right.
I probably got to go back and look at it.
Right.
That's all I got.
Well, hey, let me just say this about the store over in Avondale, just for the record. I hope that whatever they're going through right now has nothing to do with how we support them. Okay, like I of course you're gonna have your people.
No, I've been there 4 times, so I'm still,
okay. No, I didn't mean you. I'm talking to an audience.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that the people who even look, we give up on us too easily. See what I'm saying? Like I think maybe Emmanuel Livingston said something some time ago, maybe a year or two ago, and it resonates with it stays with me. It's like if Kentucky Fried Chicken run out of biscuits or run out of wings, we'll go back tomorrow. Or when they get their wings back, we might be disappointed, but we ain't gonna crap on them out on the street. You see what I'm saying? Right. But let the little small restaurant in our neighborhood, black owned, run out of wings. We'll have a fit about it. Like, oh man, them like they do bad business. They do bad business, man. Like, how we gonna? They don't never have what they need. They don't never have nothing. You know what I'm saying? And we can't do that. We can't continue to do that because I'm a black business in the area as well, and I was treated like that. And you hear people talk about that stuff a lot. So all I can say to you is just try to support them. I don't have to use the EBT card to go in there. I don't know if you do. So the EBT process shouldn't even matter to us. That don't mean you can't spend your money in there.
I'll use it right now. The way this stuff is.
Well, I hear you.
It's kind of crow. Let me get it.
All right, twin. What else you got, brother?
Man, that's about it, I think. And them steroid chicken they use today, man, I don't know what that chicken is, man. Them chicken is steroids, man. Injected into, man.
I think B-Dub's got a little something going on with their chicken. It's usually dry. It has it's not like it used to be.
The new generation there think they cooks, man. And they really can't cook. And plus it depends on where you go. So if you go down south somewhere, man, in Midwest, we get that processed meat. But if you go down south, man, it seems like it's totally different taste, man, from the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you go to KFC or especially Popeyes down there in Kentucky somewhere, down in Kentucky going towards Gallenberg, it's way different, man. I was like, man, tastes richer than the KFC up top. So it's like totally different from
I
down
don't know,
south.
man. I tried the KFC in Nashville a couple months ago. It was the same trash KFC that they had in the city in Cincinnati. I mean, I haven't tasted a KFC that was good in Florida either, to be honest with you. It all tastes the same now. It's just the
Man, you
original
don't even eat
recipe is just
chicken.
not
You
there.
eat steak, man. Go on with that. You're a steak man and tea drinker, so you wouldn't know.
Well, okay. If you say so.
All right, man.
If
I'll
you say
just
so.
clear out.
All right, Twin.
All right,
Anything else? You
man.
good?
That's all I got, man. Be safe, man.
All right, brother. You too. Thanks for engaging with us. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
That was Twin, y'all. He did not hit the ceiling. But Twin hit the ceiling when it was about that store opening. He had it all worked out. Remember, he went off. He actually got mad at me that day. He got, why he went after me. And I'm like, wait a minute, bro. Like, we have no facts of why they're not open. Are the people who run in the store or who wants to open the store, the owners, are they complaining? Are they saying anything? Are they bringing issues to the forefront saying that they're being done wrong? I never heard anything. So I didn't want to jump on the side of, somebody's doing them wrong, because I know, like I said, how many of us have ever opened up the grocery store before? I haven't. So I don't know all the intricacies. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know what permits are needed. They have some real stuff going on over there. They got a whole, like what do they call it? A deli? You know what I mean? Fresh market deli. So that stuff, I'm sure there's codes and there's all type of stuff that has to be, you have to go through a process. I get it. But at the same time, I just don't understand why Twin kind of hit, he just went off on, it's got to be somebody's fault that they not open. And I'm like, Twin, bro, we don't really know. We don't know. We don't know if it might be internal. They may not be ready to open. And the last thing you want to do as a business is open prematurely, because sometimes, depending on what type of business it is, you only get one shot with your customers. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, and keep in mind, they do have competition. It might not be all beautiful and bright like this new location, but we all know who've been getting money for decades on top of decades in the Avondale area when it came down to the food marts. Those places ain't gone nowhere, and they accepting EBT cards. And they doing all the dirty shit that this black-owned business will not do. I'm telling it all. You can't go into this Fresh Market. I forgot the name of the place. I'm sorry about that. Put it in the screen if you don't mind, so I can give them a plug. But you can't go into this Fresh Market place and buy a cigarette. You can't go in there and buy alcohol as a minor. You can't go in there and buy the things, a cigar out of a Philly box. Their competition allows that type of stuff to happen. Country Meat Market. They not gonna do all that shit that we know their competitors do. Y'all know that they got kids over there buying alcohol. Y'all know they got kids over there buying cigarette. What they used to, I don't know what they call it now. But when you go over there and you can buy 1 or 2 cigarettes out of the pack, they ain't supposed to be selling no shit like that. That ain't how you supposed to sell things. And that's their competition. They doing that. And them kids over there buying alcohol, buying cigarettes, buying Phillies, buying things, one little thing at a time. And I just don't think the country meat market is going to be in the business of doing stuff like that. But their competitors are. That's a good thing. That's a good thing, Linda Reed. She said, I heard that the shelves were empty. I'm hoping they're empty because of the purchases. But you got to be able to restock. Ross says Lucy's, and Black and Miles. Roz know he be over there copping. I'm just playing. Yeah, let me get 3 Lucy's, man. Let me get 3. Can I get 2 for 1? I buy 2, get 1 free. Y'all know that. Y'all know that shit going on over there. And if you're not from the area, if you're not really from them types of walk of the world, then you probably don't know that that's the type of stuff that they're going up against, but they are. And then, they got to get the EBT thing together. I don't even want to talk about all the stuff that I heard because I don't know it to be true. So I'm going to leave that there. So I don't want to be the one that come out on my platform talking about some shit that may not even be true. Now, I'm pretty confident that the EBT process is not happening. Like, it's probably not working because reliable sources are commenting on it. But at the same time, I do believe that, hold on one second. I do believe that they'll get it fixed. That they'll get it fixed. I mean, you got to understand. EBT process is like the lottery. Y'all do know that. I mean, for those that may not know, let me explain a little bit. If you open up a pony keg in Avondale and you want to sell lottery, all right, we got a gas station and BP gas station. We bought a BP gas station and we want to sell lottery. We got to go through a process. Sorry about that, guys. That's my phone. That's my daughter. I'll get. Hold on one second. Sorry about that, guys. It'll come. That's my daughter. I have to make sure everything's okay because she's actually driving a long way to get somewhere, and I just wanted to make sure she was safe. But if we bought a BP gas station, we wanted to add lottery to it. There's a process to the lottery thing. And what I mean by that is this: we got to do a credit check because every dime that we bring in from the lottery is the lottery, state of Ohio's money. We get our percentage. But if we take in $10,000 for the day, they want to make sure they're dealing with a credit-worthy individual. Because I might take in 10,000, but I might owe them $9,800. They want to make sure they're dealing with someone that's going to have their money and that's credit worthy to be able to give them their money on time. Yeah. So you have to pass credit exams, credit checks, and all that type of stuff to be dealing with the state's money. So that's part of the process. You know what I mean? So I'm sure that the EBT thing is the same way because they want to make sure that those bank deposits are going into the bank and going toward the county or the city or, the state. They want to make sure of that. And I'm going to tell you one little thing. I remember walking in what is it? PNC Bank. It used to be called Provident Bank. So you'll know that this was so long ago. It used to be called Provident Bank. And she keeps calling. I remember walking in there one time, and it was the one up in Walnut Hills on People's Corner. I walked in there one time, and I seen one of them dudes that open up, they have a store in our neighborhood. And that guy brought in probably $20-something thousand in food stamps. Remember the dollar food stamps that were brown? $5 one was like a reddish type color, and the $5 was like a greenish type color. The $10 one was low denominated bills of food stamps, and they were stacked this high off of the counter. They have to bring that money in and deposit it into the bank, and that's how they would send the money to the state. Or I don't know if they were sending it into their account and then reimbursing, sending the state their money from their account. But that's when I started understanding a little bit like, wow, they didn't look at all them damn food stamps on the counter that they just made a deposit to their bank with. And it wasn't us. It was nobody that looked like us. It was another group of people that was getting that money in our neighborhood. But what I learned is, in order to get lottery, in order to get EBT and all that, there's a process. You have to, sorry about that, guys. You have to be able to pass certain tests. You have to be able to do certain things. Sorry, man. Sorry about that, guys. I just wanted to make sure everything was okay. My daughter is traveling. Sorry about that. So you really do have to. Aaron Gillen says also with the lottery, if you're not selling tickets, they will come get their machines. Yeah, they don't want you sitting on them goose eggs. They think something's up when you're not sending them their money. If you're not producing, they're not going to let you hold those machines because there might be a financial strain going on in those companies. And then when you get all that lottery money, they want to make sure that you're getting, that you're not tearing or messing up their money. All right, so my apologies, y'all. I got some stuff going on that I'm really supposed to be out of here at 3 o'clock because of what's going on. I got some traveling going on with my daughters, and I want to make sure they're okay. That all being said, there were some things I wanted to talk about today. I didn't get to it. I wanted to talk about a story that I read. Oh shit, that's right. Let me go to the phone lines real fast before we get out of here. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Oh my God, Mr. Wyatt. Yeah,
my
man.
apologies.
I tried, man.
My
I
apologies.
tried.
My apologies, brother. I apologize, CK. How
I
you doing?
respect you, man.
How
You
you
know
doing?
I respect you.
I respect you too, brother. That's why I came to the phone lines, man. I got some things going on, but I wanna welcome you to the program. What's going on? What's on your mind, bro?
The Lucy's, I like the Lucy's conversation. When you couldn't discover the name again, your comment people told you what it was.
Yeah,
Grass feed.
yeah.
Grass feed.
I haven't heard
And,
Lucy since I was a little boy, to be honest with you. So yeah, that one got away
Yes,
from me.
that was good living. That was a good time to live, wasn't it? Back when your mama could send you to go get the cigarettes and alcohol, that was living. That was better than what we got today. This whole cancel culture. You remember they used to send you to get the liquor and the cigarettes?
Say it again, bro.
Do you remember they used to send when we was kids, our parents could send us to the store to get cigarettes and liquor?
Yeah, I remember that.
Now that, man, because I think do you think the kids were more trustworthy then? Or you think, what you think happened?
I think stores were a little bit more. This is gonna sound crazy, but I think they were a little bit more community oriented. My mother used to send me to the store to get a pack of Benson and Hedges menthol and a Pepsi. And you know, I'm not old enough to get cigarettes, but they would Schwartz. I would go up to Schwartz all the time and buy my mom a pack of Virginia Slim menthols, the green pack, and a Pepsi. And she would put a note on me at first, you know what I'm saying? I was that young. And then I would have to as I got older, a little bit older, I knew what it was that they wanted, what she wanted. And they were selling to minors. And I don't think anything has changed with that.
Exactly. And that's what I was trying to tell you on Friday when we were talking about the rules. Remember, we had the debate about the rules. We both made some excellent points, but I finally beat you in the debate.
You didn't beat me in a debate, bro.
Yeah, I got you. Remember?
No, I don't remember. I remember us talking about it, but look, okay, go ahead, finish your point. How did you win?
I got you because this is what happened to Wyatt.
Okay,
Wyatt been out of the game so long, he believed the rules he was taught. You was taught as an ignorant person. You wasn't taught as a grown, developed person. Those rules that you go by, the integrity and all that shit was taught to you as a kid. It doesn't apply as a grown man. So when you in the criminality, there is no honor. There is no morals. There is no integrity. It's best all by any means necessary.
Well, let me say something about that. Let me say something about that, CK. I'm gonna say this, and I don't take it personal. All right,
yes,
I'm just gonna say something. This is what a street dude would. This is how a street dude would feel about what you say about this. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Don't get in the game. You ain't built for it. Don't get in nothing that you can't tell or snitch. If you don't get into it, because there are unwritten rules of if you get in certain lifestyles. There are people. It's not a matter of me being taught this as a young man. This is what I don't give a damn if you get in certain games at 30 years old. You know the unwritten rule is in our game we don't snitch. That don't mean that the rules aren't broken. People snitch all the time. A lot of people snitch. But guess what, CK? On the other side of that coin, There's guys in the penitentiary right now doing extra time because they didn't snitch. And the reason why they didn't snitch is because they understood the rules of the game. That's part of the rules of the game. If I'm not in that game, it's not considered me snitching. I'm a civilian. I could tell if somebody's selling dope on my corner of my neighborhood. There you go, right there. That's not me snitching. But if I'm putting somebody out on the block and I can't call the police on on a rival. I can't, that's against the rule. That's like their rules. That's their thing. I'm not involved in it, but I understand these unwritten rules. And for you to say that these are imaginary rules, they're not imaginary. All right. Because it's not on paper, everything don't have to be in certain states. You can hold on. In certain states, you can have a verbal contract. Is that an unwritten rule? Yes. It's an unwritten contract, but it exists. It's a thing. It's a verbal contract that would hold up in court.
Now let me hit you with a rebuttal, because that was very honorable and your soliloquy was on point. But I will trump you. I will trump you.
Okay.
Because these things that you're telling me, these are things told to manipulate. Yes, it's people that go to prison that don't snitch. But you have to understand, nigga, if you snitch and you know your mama gonna die, that's a whole different thing than a rule. I'm fearful of snitching on a person. But if you don't have no fear of who you snitching on, you will snitch. The snitching is about your safety. It's about, okay, can I snitch on this nigga and get away with it? Or if I snitch this nigga, he might kill my whole family. That's what it's about.
Let me just say something to you.
It's about every certain situation. It ain't. This is how the rules is what you use to manipulate the teenager. Like if I want to get a nigga in the game, when I manipulate him, then I'm gonna lay down the fake ass rules you talking about.
Okay.
Hey man, this integrity, this every man. We protect ourselves. We work out together like the GDs. We work out together. We go by these rules. Nigga, y'all ain't shit.
Right.
Because soon as I break the rules, y'all beat me like I'm nothing. Right. So you're not what you say you are. So that's what I'm saying. Even if within the rules that you're applying, there ain't no fucking rule, because you're gonna break them whenever it feels applies to you.
See,
so that's what I'm saying. Let me tell you. You're gonna break them whenever you want to break them.
What you're saying is facts, okay? But it's also I don't really know how to say it the right way without sounding like I'm trying to be funny or trying to dish you or something. But those rules, the way you're describing them is how civilians see it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's people that stood tall and stand up on these unwritten rules, bro. It's their code. It's what they do. Do I agree with it? No, but I don't agree. When they get in the game, these things are introduced to them right away. Like, you take the fall on this. You the one that got to take this. It's on you if you mess up and slip up and do something. It's on you. Like, I'm in an industry where I see snitching all day, every day. So I can't say what you're saying isn't a fact. But because you got people that break unwritten rules, don't necessarily mean they're not cut out to be in that business.
Okay. Let me get it right there. We gonna catch the people up, the commenters, the people on the podcast. Check this out. I'm about to give it to you. Okay, you've been in the streets. You from down the way. So have you ever witnessed a gangster versus a gorilla?
Meaning
a gorilla, a cat that's a gorilla in the streets, and a cat that's a gangster.
So he a headbanger, a guy that's out there fighting. He a headbanger.
He's just a gorilla. Now who gonna win that? Who gonna win that between a gangster and a gorilla?
A gangster gonna shoot.
A gorilla gonna win every time.
No, he ain't.
I'm saying
no, he ain't.
You know what I'm saying?
No, he ain't.
Because like
no,
he
ain't. Who you talking to right now? No, he ain't. A gangster gonna pull it. A gangster gonna pull it. A gorilla gonna swing. A gangster gonna shoot. I ain't got time for this. I ain't
gonna. Okay, I got you. You got me. You got me.
Talk about that.
But watch this. Watch me come back like Sugar Ray Leonard. Check it out. Where we end up in the penitentiary, right? Now, when we in the penitentiary, ain't no guns. Now, that gorilla is gonna make that gangster say, "Nah, nigga, you don't want it. Tell them you a coward, nigga." If you don't want me to destroy you right now, if you don't want me to destroy your life right now, tell these niggas you a coward. That's what I'm trying to say. You ain't even no gangster. You a coward. So even the gangsters are civilian. If you put him in a gorilla, gonna break him down because he's gonna go gorilla than anybody you think. Because the gangster can't, you right, on the streets, the gangster got an edge. But when they get in that penitentiary behind the bars, the gorilla gonna make him bow down in front of his niggas and tell your partners you a coward, nigga. You don't want these problems. That's what a gorilla gonna do. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. It ain't no rules, because even a coward guy don't got no rules. This nigga gonna tell his whole crew he's a coward if he don't want to face what that gorilla gonna do to him. Rip his head off.
Well,
it's too much.
I hear you, bro.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I hear you, man. I don't.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. The gangster will shoot the gorilla in the street. You're right. And that's why a lot of gorillas die in the street. But once you put them in that cage, who wins, sir? Because we all wind up in the cage if we could keep committing crimes, right?
I don't know, man. All I can tell you is this, man. I don't know. I don't know, CK, man. I'm so removed from all of that. I don't know, man. All I can tell you is this, bro.
What we doing is good, Wyatt. What we do, we're teaching the kids the real. And I think by telling them that it ain't no rules, it's helping them better than telling them it is rules. The rules isn't hard. Okay, when you say you can get it the easy way or the hard way, the easy way is going to college, going to school. The hard way is selling drugs. We had it wrong. Remember, as a kid, you thought the easy way was selling drugs. No, but as you grow up, you realize, no, the easy way is going to school and getting your diploma. The hard way is going the underground way, trying to be a criminal. Am I lying?
No, I give you that. That's absolutely right.
No, I'm just trying to break it all the way down so we can get these kids together.
Well,
see, now,
I agree with you, CK. First of all, the way that you're describing it and saying that we got to get the kids together, all I'm saying is this, bro. The intentions of my conversation were never to say that having rules of no snitching was a good thing. I was just saying that those rules do exist, and there's receipts of those rules because there are people in the penitentiary that have stood on those rules and they're doing time because they took the knock and they didn't tell. To say that those rules don't exist because others break those rules, that doesn't make any sense to me. But at the same time, I don't want to try to fight and make it sound like I condone that stuff. Okay. All I'm saying to you is it does. Our kids are manipulated into believing snitching is bad. Snitching is not right. It's obvious. That's what you're saying. I know what you're saying. It's gone to the extremes of not even being in the game anymore. So yeah, things that could escalate into, like, snitching had a place at one time, I don't know how to explain it, bro, without sounding stupid up on here. I'm just telling you, like, non-snitching rules is for certain games, bro. And some people gonna break those rules and some people gonna stand on it. That's just how it is. To say that they don't,
whatever I have to do to get on top, to take those spots. So I will play the game. I'll play like DMX on Belly and play like I'm with the Nation of Islam just to get the Louis Farrakhan to destroy it. So you're going to infiltrate the crew. You're going to act like there's rules to get the destruction you get, the destruction of the Black Panther Party, the destruction of the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, the Nation of Islam. You could destroy them. That's why you infiltrated, because you know they fake. If they was real, they couldn't be infiltrated.
Man,
you go by fake rules. That's why people enter your game, because y'all is full of shit.
I'm in left field right now, bro. Please hit the ball my direction. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. What you say? I'm being honest. Like, you brought the Nation of Islam, bro. What? I'm saying.
Listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying if it's real rules, they saying it's integrity in this rules.
Right.
If there was real honor in what y'all saying, y'all would not be celebrating the death of Malcolm X. Y'all full of shit. Y'all just like any other nigga. But y'all will act like, oh, we're for the people. We're for Black people. No, you just like anybody else. You're a hustler. That's every game. I'm just using them as an example. That's the Republican Party. That's the Democrat. I'm just using them. But they killed one of our favorites, Malcolm X, and celebrated it. I ain't forgot what Louis Farrakhan said right when he got killed. I knew what he said right when he was laughing. Y'all was running like cats and dogs. That's what your black ass said. So, like you said, ain't no rules. Okay, you disrespect Malcolm X. Can I disrespect Louis Farrakhan? then niggas gonna get mad. Then they gonna act like it's rules. Why you disrespecting Louis Farrakhan? Why you disrespecting Malcolm X? See, it ain't never no rules. It's who want to speak up when they want to speak up. That nigga talked. He disrespected Malcolm X.
Okay.
Muhammad Ali disrespected Malcolm X, and then he later apologized about it. See, that's what I'm trying to tell you. They rules when they want to apply, but they would always break them because they would never talk about murdering Malcolm X when it was good. But once anybody says something about Elijah Muhammad is going to die. So that's what I'm saying. You make up the rules as you go.
Okay. All right. If that's what, okay, I get it. I get what you're saying, but I just know that there's people that's, that believe in the difference. You do know there's a difference between a street dude and a hood dude. You know that, right?
Yes, sir. Tell me though. You gotta break that down. That's deep.
It's a difference between a street dude and a hood dude. I'm a hood dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a street dude. I ain't never claimed to be no street dude. A hood dude is a dude that's from the hood that kick it with street dudes, who know street dudes, who cool with street dudes. Street dudes don't really F with them because they know we all cool. A hood dude is somebody that just grew up in the neighborhood just because that's where they from and they ain't had no choice but to grow up that way. A street dude is a guy that's out on the street getting money and utilizing them streets to be, they utilizing the streets to make their living. They grimy. They don't give a fuck. That's what a street dude is.
And what makes me superior to street dudes and hood dudes is I know that they both are equally dangerous. Don't think. See, some people think, oh, that's a street dude. No, that hood dude the king, that college dude the king. Just think, oh, even that private school, that's where they go. They think, oh, yeah, I grew up down the way. No, that nigga from the private school would kill the nigga from the down the way. That's what makes me superior, my intellect. I know this. Most people don't know that. Most guys from the hood, man, that nigga, look at that old booty pool. That's Fresh Prince. Fresh Prince will kill your ass too. That's what makes me superior, my intellect. I know these things. Most people think, oh, that nigga from private school, he'll never kill nobody. Yes, he will. He'll do it just like the nigga from the projects. That's what makes me intellectually superior.
There's a guy in the penitentiary right now from a private school all over this country. Private schools, suburban schools, suburban kids and all that are shit. They're in state penitentiaries across this country as well. It's not just hood people, street dudes is going to jail. People go to jail. Jail don't have a color on it. It don't have a class on it.
Is it 80% black, right?
I don't know if it's that high.
What would you say?
No, I mean, there's definitely three to one inmates, 3-to-1 ratio inmates of white versus black. I mean, a lot of people don't talk about that.
All right.
You doing good, man?
But
yes, ma'am. Yeah. Good to see you.
All right, CK. Hey, man, I'm up against the clock, man.
Have a good one, man. Thank you for having me on your.
When you hang up, I'm gonna play the difference between a street dude and a hood dude. I'm gonna play you this clip for you, okay?
Thank you, brother.
All right, brother. Thanks for engaging with us.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. I like CK, but this one here was a little bit different than normal. Like this one here was just, I don't know. I think I understand where he's coming from, but there's, because I don't do the rules or understand why people live up to those rules, don't mean the rules don't exist. There are unwritten rules, just like there's unwritten rules to speed limits on the street. Those are laws. If the speed limit is 70 miles an hour on the expressway and a cop clocks you to give you a ticket, and generally, what do you have to be doing over the speed limit for them to stop you? I'm just curious. Can somebody put the number in the screen? Can somebody put if you're doing 72 miles an hour, are they going to pull you over on the 70 mile an hour zone and give you a ticket because you went 72 versus 70? Probably not. But that's a rule. That's a law. They're probably going to get you when you hit the 75 or the 80 mile an hour mark. Probably 80. 77 might not get you pulled over. Maybe it would. I don't know. But I'm just saying, there's exceptions to all rules, but at the same time, there are going to be certain guidelines on those rules too. I am not the type of dude that looks past street-oriented rules when you in that environment. If you're in that environment, those rules exist. I know guys that been told on people and they can't go to jail. And for those that think the snitches don't go to jail, you crazy. I want to say this to CK. CK is so adamant about if you snitch, nothing happens to you. And that's not the truth. That's not the truth. There's some people sitting in the penitentiary right now that other inmates understand and know exactly who snitched because it's in the paperwork, CK. That's one thing they can't remove out of the paperwork is your name for being an informant. That's a standard practice in the court of law. They have to suppress. I mean, they can try to suppress it, but it's not going to happen. People know. Do you know I got people that tell me stories about they went to the penitentiary, they went in there talking about they was the biggest kingpin in the city, biggest this, biggest that up in Cleveland. And people got your paperwork in there, bro. They got your paperwork. They know you told on the people in Toledo. They know you a snitch. They know you a rule breaker of the game. They know that you can't be effed with. So, no, that ain't the life that I live, but I know about the life, okay? I'm going to play this clip right now. I'm going to show you the difference between a street dude and a hood dude, okay? I am not a street dude. I've never said I was. I ain't never tried to pretend, but I am a hood dude. I am from the hood. I'm proud to be from the hood. Matter of fact, I can't stand it when y'all call these women or guys that act stupid and crazy ghetto, because a lot of us is from the ghetto and we don't act like that. Stop putting where I'm from on bad behavior. Stop making it sound like people from the ghetto all act like that. We don't. We just happen to be from that hood. Call them something different like ratchet or something. I don't act like that. Donnie don't act like that. We from the ghetto. We from the hood. And some of y'all are too. Some of y'all one generation removed from the damn hood. And y'all want to talk bad about the hood like everybody. And there's no exception. I am not an exception to the rule. You're not an exception. I hear this shit all the time. You're not an exception to the rule because you made it out of the ghetto. Most people do. The majority of people that lived in the hood are from the ghetto or from the ghetto. Most of us go through life without a criminal record. I'm gonna play this clip, then I gotta get up out of here. I just want y'all to see this. Fellas, I'm gonna leave this one on the survey for you guys. Do you believe what this young man is saying? The difference between a hood dude, a street dude, and a hood dude? Do you believe this breakdown? Tell me if you like it or if you believe it or not. Check it out.
Difference between street niggas and hood niggas. Now, this video is for educational and research purposes only. It is not to glorify or motivate anybody to be in any of these categories. Go to school, motherfucker. With that being said, street niggas, active, outside, all day, every day. Shoot them up, bang, bang, serving the community. I'm talking about these niggas don't know most of the time the four corners that they grew up on past that. They only know like 4 or 5 niggas because they don't trust nobody. These the niggas that wear the same clothes damn near every day for a week to 2 weeks straight because they outside getting money. They really not the brightest in the bunch. Not saying that they stupid, but they tough as hell. They ain't letting shit get past them. You hear me? Hood niggas grew up in the hood, but was never outside active. They know all the street niggas and be around the street niggas. And they even know what's going on. Most hood niggas is street smart. And they're a little smarter, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they was in the house most of the time. Or, they were just doing their thing. They were just living in the hood. They grew up there. They had no choice. So just know the difference between the two. Thank you.
Dominique said, was that Dominique that said that? Dominique said, come on, Wyatt, that's a skit. Skit. All he got in front of the screen, sis, and was like the difference between the two. I agree with him. Street dudes and hood dudes are two different dudes. His definition of describing the two are facts to me. I mean, I don't see any other way of breaking that down. And if it's a skit, what a skit is a play. I don't think, dude, maybe his tats are fake, maybe his braids are fake, maybe he coming off. I don't know. I don't know what make it a skit, but the information is pretty accurate. Street dudes are exactly how he described it. They the ones that'll slap a dude, slap your ass. They living on the streets. They really about it. You understand? I mean, like, they bout it. Like, that's what they do. And hood dudes are not really like that, but we know we got, I mean, we got friends that are street dudes. We grew up with them. That's it. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't have a problem telling you where I'm from. I tell it all. I say it all the time. It don't make me more of a person or less than a person when it comes down to certain things. But there is a difference between, I mean, a street dude don't care who he sell dope to. We all knew those street dudes. I grew up in an era, and some of y'all know it, and Donnie can confirm this. We knew dudes that'll sell drugs to your mama. The same mama that he would, hey, Miss Williams. Hey, Miss Stephanie. Hey, Miss Johnson. And he'll sell drugs to the same lady that he just called Miss Louise to. These people they have very little morals. It's about the money. It's about the come up, the cop. That's what it's about. So yeah, I don't think it was maybe it's a skit, but it was a put together thing, and I think the information was on point. Dominique, do you not agree? I thought the information was accurate. If we asked the guys, I think the guys would agree. I think most guys on here would agree, except those that may not be a street dude or a hood dude, because they don't really know. And ain't nothing wrong with that. If I didn't shit, if I took so much pleasure or so much, if it was an honor growing up in the hood, I would have raised my kids in the hood. So it's good to a certain extent, but it ain't the best thing in the world. It ain't conducive to how I want my children to be raised. So I didn't raise my kids there. So I ain't trying to big it up. But at the same time, you gotta understand the difference between the two individuals here. All right. Would I want my daughter with a street dude? Absolutely not. Would I want my daughter with a hood dude? I probably can live with that. I'm a hood dude myself. There's a lot of hood dudes on here right now. There's a whole lot of hood females. If I had a son, would I want my daughter to marry a hood dude? Probably so. I mean, it might not be my first choice. Hood dude don't mean that he out here running in these streets. You was raised around street dudes. That's it. That all being said, man, I'm going to leave that alone. There's something that I want to discuss today, but I was not able to get to it. I was not able to get to it because I'm running out of time. What time is it? Yeah, I'm running out of time. I got a lot going on. Y'all know I need to be out of here by 3:30 because I usually have my calls at 3:30. Today, I do not have that call, so I was able to cut it close to the time. I don't know how y'all feel about this. I brought this up a little bit earlier about your taxes going toward the schools and stuff. And, there was something that I was going to bring up today, but I'll save it for maybe tomorrow or another day. I seen a news article on a local in Cincinnati at a local news station. And that station brought up a new article about the Don school situation. And it's talking about how the school now is being sued by contractors and being sued by the landlord of some of the property, rental property. And we're talking about like a little over $1 million. A little over $1 million in a lawsuit. And in this clip, I'll save it for another time. You know what? How about I play the clip and then we talk about it tomorrow? How about I do that? Is that fair? Is that fair? If I play the clip and then we talk about it tomorrow, and then those that want to doubt it or want to have combative conversation and all that old shit, what you can do is get your information against what I just played here, and then you tell me where I'm wrong. Once I give you my ideas of what's going on here, we can have that discussion. I'll give you a chance to get all your ducks in a row. All right. Let me just play this clip for you real fast, and then let me see what do you get out of this.
Attorneys for 2,900 Investments claimed the company leased a property on Gilbert Avenue to Dawn Community High School. The filing says Dawn has not paid rent and also hired contractors for construction at the property, but failed to pay those contractors. The suit says that resulted in the contractors walking off the job after demolishing parts of the building. 2,900 Investments says in part, quote, when Dawn began its tenancy, the property was complete and finished with a valid certificate of occupancy. It is now an open construction zone with half-constructed walls, exposed wires, and incomplete and uninstalled systems strewn amid piles of trash, pallets, boxes, tools, equipment, pipes, and other materials. This is one of several Cincinnati buildings tied to Dawn. The company claims in court filings the school is trying to sell off assets which would impact the collectible damages. Just last year, the Dawn Board of Directors raised concerns about financial issues. They then terminated a contract with the Cincinnati Charter School Collaborative and its owner, Ramon Davenport, claiming he was not cooperating with an internal investigation. In response to the lawsuit, Dawn's attorney says the school is not to blame. In a court document, the school's attorney said, quote, Davenport mismanaged Dawn's finances to benefit himself and others. He did so without approval or authority from the board. It goes on to say Dawn's motive in entering into an agreement to sell 2 real estate properties is to try and complete the 2024-25 school year so that the school can pay teachers and staff members salaries and retirement funds and students may graduate. Now, that statement was obviously made before the school abruptly closed. This civil suit comes as the Ohio Auditor's Special Investigations Unit is looking into Dawn's finances. I've reached out to Davenport for comment, and I have not heard.
Couple things I heard there. Couple things that I heard there. I think I mentioned last week when I said I don't think this man can do this on his own. And did you hear in that story where the board made a comment to the reporter saying there's an investigation going on where we believe that Davenport enriched himself and others? Remember that? I told you, like, there's no way he did all this on his own. No way. And I really didn't want to get into it a long time ago, but I kind of seen it coming. Now you got civil suits going on from a lot of vendors and a lot of contractors that haven't been paid and landlords. I've seen this before. I've seen this a couple times in life. One was actually with another school. What do they call it? Charter school. It was one in Cincinnati that Arnold S. Levine owned the building, and he allowed them people to stay in that building for well over a year, probably closer to 2, like 17 months, closer to 2 years than 1 year. He allowed that. He had to sue. You're not going to get anything out of it. They ran that building. They didn't pay. They messed up the money. This is not the first time I've seen a situation like this. So tomorrow, maybe we'll discuss it. Maybe we'll have a little bit more in depth. Maybe somebody can tell me something that we don't know. But I'm just going to tell you, man, this is not looking good. The uproar should be, where are the teachers' pensions? I ain't heard nobody say nothing about that shit, huh? Where them people's money at? Where the pension fund for the teachers? Yeah, the money all the way tore up. It ain't just the surface. We're talking about money that should have been put up for people's future. Ain't gonna be no uproar. Y'all didn't even want to talk about why the buses was purple. And if anybody spoke on it, y'all was hating. We had to be haters. It had to be some. That's all right. It's all good. Peace and love to everybody, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time, 1 o'clock right here. I'll holler.
I wonder why it always seems to rain when I am lost in love.
Lost all the love that I had for these niggas. Be real, I've been thinking about spazzing on niggas. These bitches be weird, always nagging a nigga, but quick to come back for some cash from a nigga. Sometimes I be wishing a nigga ain't make it, cause this shit get rough, but the bag a little different. Sometimes I just wanna wake up and go missing, but this shit hit different, not average, nigga. 80-some shows in the year, I been getting, and that shit had a vision, got out on the mission. Since I was 16, ain't gon' lie, I been creeping and hitting. Go X, Big X, standing on business. Got him a bag, double up and start giving. That's when they start tripping, I hope that you listen. These niggas is grimy, they want how you living, no loving. These women, they looking for tricks. Like, where was these folks in that spot with their kids? Or where was these folks when my pockets was empty? Where was these folks the long nights I was dealing? How you gon' want what I got and ain't did it? My family gon' call when they broke and I get it. As soon as you tell them no, want you to feel it. Not once that they checked on my son and I'm chillin'. Depressed, I can't be with my boy every minute. I fell out with my brother, that shit hurt my spirit. But we all gotta learn, hope he change, start listening. Hope that he keep his hold on and they spinning. The life that he living, I know that he's sinning. I got 2 little girls on the way, I been tripping. So scarred from the love that I dub by these women. So God gave me 2, now I'm seeing it vivid. I get it, 1,000 more reasons for living. Know that I wanna check out and just give it up. How I got out of these problems, I'm rich as fuck. Hoes don't want love, all these hoes wanna tell me. These niggas ain't gangsters, just mad that they broke it for. Ease the pain when I drink out that double cup. Only time that I'm hurt when I sober up. Smile in your face, but I swear that's a cover up. Rapping my pain, it's the shit that y'all wanted. Like, where was these folks in that spot with their kicks? Or where was these folks when my pockets was empty? Where was these folks the long nights I was dealing? How you gon' want what I got and ain't get it?
I wonder why it always seems to rain when I am lost in love.
Lost all the love that I had for these niggas. Be real, I've been thinking about spazzing on niggas. These bitches be weird, always nagging a nigga, but quick to come back for some cash from a nigga. Sometimes I be wishing a nigga ain't make it, cause this shit get rough, but the bag a little different. Sometimes I just wanna wake up and go missing, but this shit hit different, not average, nigga. 80-some shows in the year, I been getting, and that shit had a vision, got out on the mission. Since I was 16, ain't gon' lie, I been creeping and hitting. Go X, Big X, standing on business. Got him a bag, double up and start giving. That's when they start tripping, I hope that you listen. These niggas is grimy, they want how you living, no loving. These women, they looking for tricks. Like, where was these folks in that spot with their kids? Or where was these folks when my pockets was empty? Where was these folks the long nights I was dealing? How you gon' want what I got and ain't did it? My family gon' call when they broke and I get it. As soon as you tell them no, want you to feel it. Not once that they checked on my son and I'm chillin'. Depressed, I can't be with my boy every minute. I fell out with my brother, that shit hurt my spirit. But we all gotta learn, hope he change, start listening. Hope that he keep his hold on and they spinning. The life that he living, I know that he's sinning. I got 2 little girls on the way, I been tripping. So scarred from the love that I dub by these women. So God gave me 2, now I'm seeing it vivid. I get it, 1,000 more reasons for living. Know that I wanna check out and just give it up. How I got out of these problems, I'm rich as fuck. Hoes don't want love, all these hoes wanna tell me. These niggas ain't gangsters, just mad that they broke it for. Ease the pain when I drink out that double cup. Only time that I'm hurt when I sober up. Smile in your face, but I swear that's a cover up. Rapping my pain, it's the shit that y'all wanted. Like, where was these folks in that spot with their kids? Or where was these folks when my pockets was empty? Where was these folks the long nights I was dealing?